Hello, I'm Maddie. I am the Service District Educator for Ulta Beauty, District 1531. I'm so grateful to work for Ulta Beauty because as we've all been home, me for the past 3 weeks, I have still had the opportunity to learn and now teach every single day. So be on the lookout for more videos as we continue through this journey together. The technique we're going to be doing today is going to be from our Essentials hair color class. I'm going to be showing you a foliage. So we are going to start with a foil and I'm going to show you an intersecting diagonals technique. So I've already pre-sectioned my mannequin. I sectioned out her crown, the front right and left quadrants, and the back right and left quadrants. So the lines of placement that we're going to be using are intersecting diagonal forward and diagonal back lines. So I'm going to release my top section and I'm going to go in with a diagonal forward parting. Diagonal forward means it's going to go from the crown to the chin. Taking my first diagonal section, that's a little big. And then I'm going to secure the rest of the hair out of my way. The slice that I'm going to be using is going to be a micro stitch. I want to make sure that the stitch is no wider than a peace sign. I'm going to place my foil, apply my product, feathering it toward the root. Ensuring I'm placing my brush both horizontally and vertically to get proper saturation. I'm not going to swirl those ends. I'm going to simply place them onto my foil. This is going to prevent any uneven lifting. I'm going to fold once, twice, and then lock my foil. Now, our next section is going to intersect with our diagonal. So I'm going to show you what that means. If we look at the top of her head, the center of this foil is where my next diagonal line is hitting. I'm going to slice off that section, do my baby light. For anybody who doesn't know what a baby light is, it's kind of like ×2 of your regular stitch. So it's like if we press fast forward on our regular stitch. Take my product, feather it toward the root. Even though we're using foils, this is going to be a foliage, so I don't want it to go directly to the scalp. I want it to have a kind of lived-in look. Folding once, twice, making sure I lock that foil to ensure there are no gaps. Next 4 quadrants in the same manner. So first taking a diagonal back section, so going from the forehead to the nape, and then our next section will intersect for you, and it will be diagonal forward, going from the crown to the chin. So the side here is a better visual for what we mean when we say intersecting diagonals, so those forward and backward diagonal lines. You can see that they're almost creating like X's. Our completed intersecting diagonals. So we have a full head of baby lights. What's really nice about this technique is even though we did baby lights, which can be pretty time consuming because they're such a tight stitch, our intersecting diagonals allow us to encompass a larger amount of space with fewer foils, so you get the bang for your buck. Move on to the second step of this process. So we have all of our foils in place using our intersecting diagonals. Now we're going to do our open air technique. So we are going to be using a balayage technique. I'm using a freehand lightener. So it processes open air, doesn't need to be covered in a foil or saran wrap, anything like that. The word balayage actually means to sweep. So we're going to be applying our lightener in a sweeping motion. I'm going to be painting the surface and then saturating towards the ends. You can use a foiling board. I'm just going to use the back of my glove. I find I have more control that way, less things in my hand. The other thing we're going to think about is, where does balayage live? So if I were to tell you what I think of when I think of balayage, it would be sun-kissed, natural. So where the sun would be hitting would be on the surface of the hair. It's not going to live so much underneath. Plus, we already have our foils to give us some brightness under there. So I'm going to start by picking up organic sections that live between two foils. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want some of the hair to be above a foil and some of it to be below, creating like a little bit of a sandwich. Now, as I start to work down the hair, I'm not going to be able to access all this hair underneath here. It doesn't matter. This is super natural looking. I want it to look like it's highlights that she got from the sun. So once I can't pick up hair easily anymore, I'm not going to worry about it. So in terms of processing, this is going to be our finished product. You'll notice that some of the hair underneath hasn't been touched with the lightener. And like we said, that's totally okay because we want this to have a really sun-kissed natural look. You'll also notice you have really good coverage with that lightener. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you want to see the finished product, you can visit my page. It'll be posted there. I'll also be posting videos every Thursday, all sorts of different techniques, up styles, color. Feel free to DM me or message me if there's anything specific you'd like to see or if you have any questions. And if you're thinking about making Ulta Beauty your home, contact me because I couldn't be more blessed to work for this company.